Got it. Thanks, Doc. Other Doc. Pork chop. Well, let's try that again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. That's the second time I've done that in a row now. I forget to second unmute my microphone while my desktop's going, but hope everybody's doing well. Today we are doing our iRacing GT3 championship, and we're going to be at some windy roads in Georgia at Road Atlanta. My favorite track of all time. It is absolutely, just adore this track. And the folks out there are already out trying to set their bestest qualifying laps so we can hop in and enjoy the adventure as they try to see who can get the top spot. All right, let's get in there and see what we've got going on. Oh, looks like we have some more overlays than initially anticipated. We got a rotating overlay on the bottom of some of the performances. We have Wesley Avia in the top spot right now, doing a fantastic job with a 1:18.0, followed by Colin Johnson's 1:18.8, followed by 1:18.89. So only 900ths between them. Unbelievable. Colin Johnson, the Corvette, trying to see if he could improve on his lap to try and get that top spot. Very cool little livery there on the Corvette, followed by provisional P3 for Cody Wasson, Josh Willis just behind Eric Eng, Eric Miller behind them. Couple of tenths between all. Only a full tenth between P1 and P6 right now. Cunningham 0.17 behind. So we have to go all the way down to 17th position to be a second spot, which is quite an incredible grid if I'm honest. We have 33 cars here today, so this is going to be a super exciting race tonight. How's everybody doing? Doc Milby, hope you're doing well. Doc Porkchop, 2 docs are better than 1. Hope you all are doing well. Got that figured out. Still on board with Colin Johnson, who's looking for an improvement. Coming down the S's. Maximizing the exit of turn 5 as you are allowed to do. Hard double right of 6 and 7. Onto the long straight. Trying to nail the braking point at the end of the long straight. We'll be looking for the curbing on the right side of the markers. Going wide. Cut that left-hander. Cut the right-hander on throttle as soon as possible through this incredibly fast final corner of turn 12, and just does not find the improvement he's looking for. That was a 19.0 Colin Johnson. Hello, Class 11Q. How are you doing today? Hope you got my email. Hope everything's going well. We are doing our iRacing series as Colin Johnson is only 900ths behind Wesley Avia for the top spot today, as we are in Road Atlanta. Incredible 33 car grid. Quite a few cars on track. Hey Cody, you get your settings sorted to stream this well? I mean, honest, so I really, I had these settings set up a couple of weeks ago because I spent a couple hours trying to set things up when I bought the SDK overlay, but had the CPU issue come up and another 19-0 for Colin just not able to find the last couple of hundredths, not tenths, hundredths that he needs to step up to the top step. Josh Willis now also trying to find some gains. The difference between first, second, third, and fourth and fifth, my goodness, 18.80, 18.89, 18.91, 18.95, 18.96, incredibly tight. 19.0, 19.06. These guys are literally hundredths away from each other as Josh not quite finding the optimal line there. Yeah, so I had everything set up a couple of weeks ago and then ran into the CPU issue, and then fortunately, shout out to Carlos Guzman, who came out clutch, allowing us to replace. Actually, I have the old CPU here, so I had an older CPU of a Ryzen 1600, which obviously was not going to do anything at all, but I had a 2700X. This is the little puppy that wasn't quite living up to expectations for iRacing, and replaced it with a 3900X that I got from Carlos Guzman, who was incredibly generous in sending that over. So did great. Yeah, so shout out to Carlos Guzman and allowing us to finally get things sorted. And you know, when I was looking at the performance of the 3900X versus the 3700X, and we're going to dive into a bit of computer stuff, the performance didn't seem like it was that much of a gain. 10%, 10 maybe 15%, but and with the 3700X, the CPU was pinned, and iRacing is just not having it whatsoever. So I was really worried the 3900 wasn't going to be sufficient, but fortunately for me and fortunately for you guys, we are rocking and rolling. We have an awesome overlay which has incredible capabilities that Phil Milwee, aka Whelp Cakes, I mean, he's done some stuff on when he was streaming for us for a couple of days, just unreal interactions and overlays and stuff like that I haven't quite learned how to do yet, but we'll get there. That's, you know, when I grow up to be as cool as, well, if I ever grow up to be as cool as Phil Milwee, I hope to be able to sort all those things out. As we see the floating bumper of what I think is that Turner Johnson, possibly, as looks like we might be towards the end of qualifying here in lovely Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. Let's see, do we have anyone on track, or are we just waiting for I hear cars. Yeah, we got the checkered flag flying, indicating the end of quali, and looks like Wesley Avia does take pole position here. We saw the capabilities, we saw his potential, and just ran into some unfortunate situations in the past couple of races, but there he is, pole position for Wesley Avia. I don't think it's going to be an easy race for him. Going to be a lot of challenge coming in from Colin Johnson, Cody Wassam, Josh Willis, Eric Eng, Eric Miller, all incredibly close. Jacob Cunningham, I mean, literally have to go all the way down to 15th place to be a second away from that top spot. Exactly a second. So Glenn Pinio, 119.61 to Wesley Avia's 118.61. Cody, how have you been? How's your watch streak going? Oh, looks like we got some clouds in the sky, ladies and gentlemen. Super excited. Oh, Look at that view. I've had the fortune of being at Road Atlanta for a Petit Le Mans, and the flat screen does not do the SS justice. The just crazy flow down and then back up is unreal. I would love to really visit there one day, driving more so than visiting. Again, one day when I grow up. Well, looks like we do have the grid up there as everybody starts loading in. Let's see if we could, once they get on there, hopefully do a quick grid walk and check out how everyone ended up placing. How's everybody doing? What do we got going on today? How's life treating you? Hello, Richie Millie. Vamos indeed. Let's go. Let's see some racing. As we see the cars starting to load in. Still waiting on Wesley Avia to get this party started. There we go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, to some funky beats. We got Wesley Avia in the black Porsche in P1 position. Cullen Johnson in P2, only hundredths behind. Cody Wassam in the colorful Mustang in P3. Joshua Willis in the pink Porsche P4. Eric Eng in row 3. I'm sorry, there's a shift there for some reason. Eric Eng in row 3. Eric Miller for 5 and 6. Will Brunner in a P7, Jacob Cunningham P8, Jordan Smith P9, and I am getting live updates here and spots are switching, but let's call out rows. So we got Steve Tomazic and Cunningham. This chart switching all over the place and I can't keep up with it, unfortunately. I was trying to get our formation, but I'll just go through the grid anyways. Got Tomazic, Smith, King, Johnson, Ballin, Smalling, Pico, Pinio, Bandera, Knapp, Severs, Kajtizovic might be streaming, so if you guys want to see some first person stuff, check out Kamal's stream, which I believe is Chemo Sith. Brad Severs, Randy Gross back here, Jeff Dallas 22nd, Rick Wolf, followed by Gavin Cambray in the Acura, Jacob Magnowski in the Ferrari, Carlos Guzman, the hero of heroes, allowing us to stream in 26. Joe Harkness, the Mercedes 27. Kyle P. McDonald 28th. Kyle might be streaming as well if you guys want to check it out. I think it's KPM Racing. Talita Ferrari in 29th. Wade Georgeson in 30th. Mark Matlock in 31st. Daniel Salmon in 32nd. And Nate Hutchison in 33rd position. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, an incredible grid here at Road Atlanta. And we are waiting for the race to get going as everybody comes down the back straight and ready to get the party started. Engines roaring. Ooh, predictions for the race. You know, I think you guys are more qualified to do that than I am. You, the viewers. I think it's going to be an exciting race. That's my prediction, because we do have quite a tight grid. We have Colin Johnson challenging Wesley Avia, Josh Willis, Cody Wassam, Eric Miller, Eric Eng, Jacob Cunningham, Will Brunner, all incredibly talented drivers as we come through the final two corners of 11 and 12, getting ready to get the race rolling. And it is green, 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 an incredible sight at the curb of the final corner here. Looks like Wesley Avia got a fantastic start getting ahead of Colin Johnson and Cody Wassam. Cody Wassam looking on the inside of Colin Johnson, making himself up into P2 position. The rest of the grid looking relatively clean, no major yellows. Looking at the track map just yet, Wesley Avia looking quite Nice and comfortable up front there as Cody Wasson continues to challenge Colin Johnson in third, Josh Willis in fourth, and Eric Eng in P5 position. Those cars in a bit of a Porsche sandwich as the grid continues to move forward. All lined up now through the S's, corners 2 through 5 as they go through the double right of 6 and 7, trying to find the optimal line, an optimal exit onto the back straight through corners 8 and 9, which are really kinks as you could go really full tilt through them. Here we go. Looks like Josh Willis putting up a challenge to Colin Johnson. Colin Johnson dropping from P2 all the way down to P4 now. Josh Willis making that position stick and is going to be pretty happy about that. Let's go for a bit of a farther view. Looks like Wesley Avia is going to maintain that P1 position. Cody Wasson settling into 2. Josh Willis into 3. Colin Johnson into 4. Down 3 positions. Sorry, 2 positions, if I could do my math right. Eric Eng following up, a bit of a gap now, being challenged by Jacob Cunningham. That is going to be quite the challenge for him, as Cunningham has shown some incredible skill, and the winner of the last race, if I'm not mistaken, having come through some great strategy. Down the field here, the 2 Corvettes of Miller and Brunner. Brunner going to be trying to challenge Miller as much as he can. McLaren behind that of Turner Johnson. Jordan Smith coming in P10, rounding up the top 10 position. These folks going off the right side of the track here on turn 5 as you have some incredible width there and trying to maximize the speed. Looks like we have some incredible battles all the way through the grid. Trying to find the closest battles here. Nice tight field here through the pack. Looks like Turner Johnson. I believe that's Turner Johnson. No, I'm sorry. That is the likes of Benjamin Smalling making a mistake, allowing Dakota Knapp to go through in the bright yellow-green Corvette. More Corvettes challenging for position. Michael Pico looking for a spot here on the inside of Benjamin Smalling. Does get it, doesn't get it. Looks like Smalling does win out in the braking zone. Pico settling in behind Benjamin Smalling for a 17th spot, and I'm sure we'll be looking for more opportunities to get ahead. Biggest winner so far, Daniel Salmon, up 9 positions into 24th. Going to be continuing to look ahead to get more than that. Bowiask 20, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the 6th round of the Trackalicious iRacing GT3 Championship here at Road Atlanta. We're super excited for this race today. An incredible field and a tight field at that, with Josh Willis with the fastest lap of the race, trying to look ahead, catch up to Cody Wasson and Wesley Avia. These top runners are gonna be in a bit of a challenge through the whole field. We do have a spin. Steven Tomazic off track. What is going on? Tomazic now all the way down to 23rd position. Not quite sure if there was a contact or an error. But let's go back to the live scene here. Still tons of battles all the way through. Looks like Eric Miller being challenged by Gavin Cambray, and Gavin having to look both ways ahead and behind as Rick Wolf in the Mustang looking to take advantage. Looking on the inside, does make the move. Is he going to be able to make it stick? No, carries too much speed. Too much speed, goes off, not only loses that position, but I think might be losing another one. Nope, does manage to keep that position. Fortunately for him, and is going to be looking for an opportunity to move forward. We have some uninvited guests here. Come here. Incredible racing still happening through the field. Looks like Jacob Magnowski in the Ferrari looking ahead of the Ford GT of Wade Georgeson. Okay, all right.
Papa, what's this?
We're watching, we're not talking here right now, okay? We're looking at the racing. Look at this Ford challenging the Ferrari now. as a very, very upset mom is going to be telling you guys that this is not the time to be coming down and watching racing. Not good. Okay, say bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
All right, let's go. All right. Sorry, folks. Looks like Jordan looking to challenge Kyle McDonald. Oh, we have some position changes. Wesley Avia disconnected. Oh no. Okay, we gotta figure out. We gotta go back. What happened? Replay. I'm gonna break the fourth wall here. Looking good so far between Avia and Cody Wassam. Definitely would not have predicted this being a scenario. Avia going wide, Wass looking to challenge on the outside here in the replay. Both getting super tight. I don't, what? Oh my goodness. I would never have guessed a scenario like that to have been something that we would have experienced. Josh Willis, I'm sure, is going to be super happy to get promoted up into P1. I don't know what to say. I'm not sure what happened there, why it happened. It seemed like there's plenty of room, but goodness, yeah. Tisk indeed. That's really unfortunate for Avia and Cody Wassam. Cody Wassam still looking for his win here at the Trackalicious GT3 Championship. Has been so close so many times, but just unfortunate to not get the opportunity to execute. That being said, Colin Johnson back up into P2 position. Jacob Cunningham not too far behind in P3, challenging Josh Willis. Again, home track for Josh Willis, an Atlanta, Georgia native, or greater Atlanta area, I should say. Josh managing to do a good job staying ahead so far. So we see some more challenges behind Eric Miller, just behind Joel Bandera, and being challenged by Mike Pico. Actually, I am probably not live, is probably what's happening. There we go. Yeah, there we go. For some reason, my timing charts had not updated because it was showing Pico ahead. But looks like Miller has managed to get the spot. For some reason, Eric Miller has dropped 7 positions down into 13th. He was up ahead with the front runners, but seems to have run into an issue somewhere. Looking at biggest winners and losers, Dakota Knapp up 8 positions to 9th. I love Dakota's livery. That is so much fun. Lots of bright colors. Totally my kind of livery. Super cool. Lots of detail. Followed by Adam King in the Mustang. Adam. Yeah, actually Dakota streams as well. Ducky Metric in Twitch. Go check him out. A good position in P8 here. Adam King looking to challenge for that P8 position, because 8th just simply is not good enough for the Mustang. Oh, Knapp making a mistake, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes the pressure is just enough, as Benjamin Smalling makes a move as well, and that is 2 positions lost for Dakota Knapp, unfortunately, as he does do a safe rejoin. Now ahead of Joel Bandera, is gonna be looking for making up those spots again. Knapp not quite having the pace of Adam King ahead, but does have a faster lap than Benjamin Smalling, so is going to be looking to challenge the McLaren ahead. We did see Benjamin Smalling making some mistakes earlier in the race, and that is exactly what Dakota is going to be looking for if he is able to stay out of trouble himself, as we just saw him get into. Steven Tomazic now, Mercedes on Mercedes action. Tomazic behind Joel Harkness. Joe Harkness in 18th position. A lovely contrast between the two, the blue and the purple. Moza Racing, for those of you who are looking for Moza gear, we do have a Moza affiliate. If you're thinking about getting some Moza gear, check it out. Muff with a 27-month subscription. That is almost a whole year. Muff, how you doing? Good evening. We are in an incredible race where we've seen P1 and P2 get into a huge crash, promoting our P3 at the time. Josh Willis into P1. Colin Johnson, starting in P2, had dropped down to 4. Now is back up into P2, being challenged from behind and looking to challenge up ahead. These front runners have been nose to tail the entire time here. 11 minutes into the race, 50 minutes left to go, and a random safety car will be coming out at some point in time. When, we don't know, they don't know, which makes it super exciting. They are limited to 60 liters of fuel, so the decision to pit at some point in time is an incredibly challenging one. Some have won, some have lost over the strategy, but who will win or lose today, we have yet to see, as we do have 48 minutes remaining in the race, and it's going to be an exciting one. I am certain of it, as Steven Tomazic continuing to challenge Joe Harkness up ahead, making a move, having a look, but just not quite enough, trying to optimize his line through the corners of 10A and 10B and apply as much pressure as he can into trying to make Joe Harkness make a mistake. Does he do it? No, not quite. Another lap behind Joe Harkness. Mercedes on Mercedes action. No advantage in machinery, but maybe a setup, maybe skill, maybe practice. Not quite sure what's going to be the advantage. And Steven Tomazic does go side by side going into the S's. Harkness offline does make a mistake, and that is exactly what Tomazic was looking for. And that is just not quite enough to get the position from Joe Harkness, as Harkness does manage to stay ahead, and Tomazic tucks behind, and both losing a lot of time to Glenn Pinio, who is now right behind the two Mercedes pairs. And these are positions 18, 19, and 20 here as the battle continues. Daniel Salmon in P25 looking to pressure Wade Georgeson in the GT. Slightly older car. We've seen Jacob Cunningham drive it with immense skill. Wade Georgeson is going to have a lot of talent and a lot of patience and a lot of concentration to be able to keep Daniel Salmon behind in that Corvette. Loving that livery too. The Cookie Monster livery representing some Chips Ahoy. Very cool. Still the tightest battle on the field. No, actually Jordan Smith taking advantage of a situation here. Mustang of Jordan Smith going up a position through Kevin Bolland. Benjamin Smalling just back there. Kevin Bolland not happy with the move and losing to position. Now looking to pressure the Mustang. Doesn't quite have it. Doesn't have the braking advantage there. The Mustang going through corners of 7, now going through 8 in the long full throttle straight all the way down the hill. Mustang seeming to gap just a little bit, but does not have any draft advantage ahead, whereas the Porsche does and tries to take as much advantage of it as possible. Bolland being pressured by Smalling and Bandera behind, but more focused on the car ahead, trying to get himself up into 8th position. Incredibly tight battle still happening up top as Colin Johnson applying loads of pressure to Josh Willis. Josh having the home track advantage, holding up and creating a bit of a train behind, if I may say so. And looks like the unfortunate circumstances of Cody Wasem is likely a lap down, yeah, to the leaders here, but thankfully has rejoined, getting a bit elbows out there with the Acura of number 27, which is, where are you, 27? Not Kuzman, not Gavin, not Cunningham. Okay, I am totally blind. I'm not quite sure who that is. I have no idea. Oh, it is Guzman. Oh, that was 27th position. Sorry, I thought it was number one. It was number 27, but no, that's his position. It's 139 of Carlos Guzman. So, yeah, there we have it. Again, tight battle up here. Another action building up here. Looks like Adam King has made a mistake, losing out some positions, but trying to gain it back on Benjamin Small and going side by side into the S's again. We've seen many a car make a mistake. Adam deciding to tuck behind Smalling and go through the incredibly challenging but fantastic set of corners here at Road Atlanta. Josh Willis still in the lead, followed by Colin Johnson, Jacob Cunningham in P3 now. Eric Eng in the Porsche just behind. Will Brunner, some space to breathe and do things. Not huge amounts of pressure from Turner Johnson, who's 2.6 seconds behind. Dakota Knapp, not as comfortable a position as he would like, with Eric Miller looming in the background, down 5 positions from his qualifying spot. Eric Miller doesn't quite have the race pace to challenge Dakota Knapp, not according to his fastest lap relative to Dakota, but considering that he's down 5 positions from qualifying, I'm sure is going to be looking to challenge for that P10 position. Something about being top 10, the prestige that comes with that. Eric Miller continuing to have a look, trying to apply some pressure, looking on the inside, not quite enough. Tries to get as much draft as possible here in the back straight at Road Atlanta. Again, not quite enough, but trying to find any spot to gain an advantage. Does have looked like he had great braking there and going through the corners of turn 10 and A and B. Does manage to gain quite a bit of gap or narrow that down, and is going to be continuing to looking at challenging Dakota Knapp, aka Ducky Metric, on Twitch, who is streaming right now. Go check him out. Joel Harkness deciding to pit early. And I believe that will be the first of our non-incident pitters. Is this gonna fire up a whole chain of pitters? I don't know. GT3 Suspect, welcome to Road Atlanta here at Trackalicious in our GT3 iRacing Championship. We have 33 drivers on the grid, all challenging for that top spot, and one under immense pressure right now. Equal machinery. Dakota Knapp being challenged by Eric Miller. Corvette on Corvette action. Eric Miller looking on the inside here, knows that he has the braking advantage into the turns of 10A and 10B, and does manage to stick it. And that is going to be unfortunate for Dakota Knapp, but Eric Miller continuing to try and gain positions up into the 6th spot where he started, down 4 positions from qualifying into P10, and we'll be continuing to look ahead. More action here down the grid between Adam King and my Pico. Pico right on the tail of that Mustang. America and America action. Detroit versus Detroit. Dearborn versus Madison Heights. I believe it's Madison Heights or Shelby Township. Those are the actual cities in which these companies are based out of. How are you doing, GT3 suspect? How are things going? Do you iRace? Got more battles coming up soon. Kamal Kajtazovic now on the tail of Gavin Cambrai. Porsche versus Acura. Huge pressure from Kamal. A Sith Lord looking to bring darkness to the light of the Acura ahead. Huge amounts of pressure from Kamal Kajtazovic. Looks like having to adjust a little bit there. And losing out on some gap to the car ahead. What's incredible, and we've been watching this for a while, the gap between P1, 2, and 3, who were formerly 3, 4, and 5. These guys have been nose to tail for the entire 22 minutes. Freaking incredible. Good, bro. Yeah, working on getting C-class. That's awesome. I don't have my C-class yet. So yeah, if you're looking to get into some racing, this championship is open for all skill levels. We have 33 cars and a variety of lap times on here. So if you feel up for the task and can keep yourself clean and out of trouble, many positions to be gained ahead of those who get themselves into situations, you're welcome to join. If you're looking to join, check us out. We got Discords, and that's where a lot of the registration happens. Gargle some water. Hello, welcome. And looks like Pico under immense pressure. I announce the races. I don't actually drive them. I think I've touched iRacing. I've owned iRacing for 3 years now, and I've probably driven it 10 times. That's a generous guess. I'm more likely probably 10 times, honestly. But yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, and even if I did drive it 100 times, I probably would suck so bad I wouldn't get out of C class or out of D class. Not for these drivers though, as Steven Tomazic, a solid A class driver, a 2.6K, challenging that of the 2.60 of that of Glenn Pino, just 2.63 of Steven Tomazic. Tomazic looking to gain an advantage any way he can. We have several of the back runners having pitted. But not the leaders. I presume the leaders would have gone full fuel, and they are closer than ever now. Colin Johnson, I commend his patience. Absolute legend. Not only that, but being able to stick so close to the rear end of Josh Willis is really, really great. As long as you are safe, you advance. Having a A license, but slow AF in iRacing. Yeah, I think there's a big presumption there, Muff, that I'm able to be safe as well. So another challenge in itself. Temazic now right on the tail of Lampinio, looking now going side by side. Again, we see many a situation here. No, my goodness. Wow. I can't believe they didn't touch Temazic. Really pushing the limits of iRacing's netcode, but coming out a survivor. Unreal. Not happy about that one. Steven Temazic is, or maybe just trying to apply some distraction. Again, more battles through the field. Turner Johnson looking ahead at Will Brunner. No, sorry. This is Johnson up ahead of Jordan Smith in the Mustang. Turner Johnson has won a race here before and is looking to repeat, but will be an incredibly difficult task here today. Multiple battles still on track. Turner Johnson being pressured by the Mustang having a look on the inside again. Looks like turns 10 A and B being the optimal spot to try those overtaking moves. Looks like we have some pitters. Colin Johnson, Jacob Cunningham going in, gambling, Eric Miller in as well. 30 minutes, nearly 30 minutes into the race, and these folks deciding to pit are gonna really hope that the safety car does come out. I don't know. Now, really, as Josh Willis going for another lap. I'm not sure how he's able to extend his laps here, as they only do have 60 liters. But those folks deciding that the strategy to pit now is the correct time. Cunningham coming out ahead of, no, Colin Johnson, massive gain in the pits. There were nose to tail, and that is going to be a 4-second loss to Jacob Cunningham, who comes out really to a sort of kind of back marker, but looks like Randy Gross does let him by in the Apex Advisory BMW here. Another livery master. So good, I thought it was an in-game livery. Very well done, Randy. Cunningham, 4 seconds loss to Colin Johnson after the pits. Colin, lead of the pitters. Now Josh Willis in the pits. I'm really excited to see if Josh's gamble here to take an extra lap plays out in his favor. Colin Johnson now coming through the turn, and Colin's undercut does work. Sneaks right ahead of Josh Willis, taking that effective P1 position, and that is going to be a huge win for Colin Johnson in the Corvette up into P1. That is going to be a point of frustration for Josh Willis, unfortunately. Are we going to do LMU League that isn't Friday? Oh, I don't know. We can, I suppose. We are currently building out our next season. So we are, I'm not sure. I don't know if people want to. You should ask that question in our LMU chat and see if anybody else is interested. It's really a matter of, one, if people are interested in doing it, and two, if we have support from a management side to run another league on a different day, because we're pretty heavy in leagues right now. As Kevin Bolland here in the Porsche under immense pressure from Eric Miller. Eric looking on the inside again at the end of the long straight. Eric does not quite have the braking to take advantage of that particular situation, but is going to be looking many a turn to come as we do have half hour left here. Oh, I love this camera angle. Fantastic view. But yeah, Muff, it's just a matter of two things: people wanting to do it and us having the resources to do it. Right now, we are running, for those that don't know, an ACC Championship Rookies GT4 on Monday, ACC GT4 Open on Monday, West Coast Wednesday GT3 ACC on Wednesday, Thursday iRacing GT3 on Thursday, Friday. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What happened to Joe Harkness? Oh, just a bit too much throttle. Oh no, on turn 5, and that is gonna be really, really unfortunate for Harkness, having done such a good job so far. That is gonna be so frustrating as Joe drops all the way down to 28th position. I'm sure already pitted once, yeah, and is gonna have to go into the pits again. Wow. Turner Johnson, Glenn Pinio. Oh, that is where they want to be. I'm not quite sure. Turner Johnson, Glenn Pinio had not pitted yet. Is this going to be the advantage as the safety car does come out? Hello, Travis. How are you doing? How is work going? I know your frustration of not being at the race today. And I hate to say it, but it has been quite an exciting race so far. Alrighty, safety car is out. And I know, me too. So this is my favorite track of all time. And I've owned iRacing for 2 or 3 years, and I just got it today. And I just bought it thanks to you, actually, Travis. Travis supporting the cause here, helping us out. So I do appreciate it. So you did allow me the luxury of getting these tracks and helping me get that. Helping to get the CPU from Carlos Guzman and Turner Johnson going into the pits. That is not going to be ideal, I don't think. Unfortunately, as all have bunched up, it is going to be a win here for strategy for Colin Johnson, pitted at the right time and going to be getting effective P1. My goodness, nailed it. Yeah, we have. You have and I have, I think, 1 or 2 years apart, unfortunately, but have been blessed by the hallowed ground in Braselton, Georgia. Unbelievable. Super cool. 12 hours of Petit Le Mans was super cool. I don't know how you managed the 12 hours, but I know my friend and I basically spent several hours just walking the entire track, going through every single corner and hanging out for several minutes, just checking things out. And I think my favorite corner to be at while looking down through the S's was incredible. Just an unbelievable sight to see the cars just crazy go down and come back up. And we have crashes in yellow, guys. What is going on? I'm clicking here on the replay, trying to see what happens, and oh my goodness, that's a lot of speed to be carrying. Whoa. Okay. It said that was a crash, so I'm not quite sure what happened, but for sure A lot of risk carrying that much speed under yellow flag in the S's. But fortunately for Kamal Kajtazovic, living to tell the tale. Unless the situation happens farther down the road here. It doesn't look like it. Okay. These guys, I don't understand why they get so close under the safety car. It's so much risk. Just give yourself some space. You don't have to be nose to tail to millimeter perfection under the yellow flag, under the safety car. But hey, you do you, boo-boo. What do I know? I'm just a commentator and an iRacing pleb and an ACC pleb. But here we are. What's that? That's annoying me. How's everybody doing in chat? What's good? What's new? Other than Travis's frustration of slapping down some incredible laps here at Road Atlanta a couple of weeks ago and having to work during this race and not be a part of this. Other than that frustration, what else is going on? This restart is going to be absolutely critical for these lead cars. Lining up side by side. So I was saying my favorite corner was turn 6, which is the first right-hander up on top of the hill there. You can get literally within a couple feet, 4, 5, 6 feet of the cars coming around, and it's just so crazy to be that close. Super cool. So we got a water break here. 23 minutes remaining in the race. Safety car coming in. Cars lined up side by side. We are going to be looking at this restart with great anticipation to see who of the leading cars gets the advantage. Colin Johnson nailing the strategy, him and Jacob Cunningham going in a lap earlier than Josh Willis. Willis eager up ahead. Green flag. And they have the green flag. Willis is quite well lined up on the outside there. Racing, drag racing on the front straight with Colin Johnson. Colin Johnson does have the advantage of having the inside line and does sneak ahead. Willis tucking in behind now of Colin Johnson with multiple cars going too wide down into the S's. Brave souls, and now starting to line up into the snake of what is the racing line here at Road Atlanta. Josh Willis settling into P2. Colin Johnson trying to get a launch off ahead of Josh Willis. Jacob Cunningham undoing the mistakes of the pit stop and having dropped 4 seconds behind. Colin Johnson is now having the advantage of the safety car. And this is what I love about the safety car. While we still had an immense amount of racing happening, now everybody is really in action, really in a position where they have multiple positions to gain, and none more true than for Cody Wasem, who's come down and made back up all the way from P28, having gone into an incident, going up into P15 now, continuing to look for positions as the fastest lap of his race is a second faster than, not so much so, about half a second faster than those around him. So he does have quite a bit of pace advantage there, but something that is there's barely anything between Josh Willis and Colin Johnson. Only 3/10 to be honest, between their best. No, I'm sorry, realistically 0.22 seconds between Colin Johnson and Josh Willis. So these guys are incredibly evenly matched. Joel Bandera, oh, there is an incident here that is unfortunate as we try to go back and have a look at the replay. What happened there? We're continuing. I can't even keep up with the issues happening here. Where did it go? Joel Bandera, a bunch of people here. Even farther back. Oh no, Kevin Bolland, no! That is so unfortunate. Turner Johnson doing a fantastic job avoiding the situation. Kevin Bolland in the middle of the track manages to get himself away, but another car in the background. Oh my goodness, that is so unfortunate. And that is multiple cars into the pits. Wow. You just never know. And unfortunately for Kevin Bolland, making a mistake going into the wall and just slingshotting back into the middle of the track, collecting a couple more cars. But none of those shenanigans here in the top spot. Now I know I've talked to Kevin before, and he was having some issues in the past where his CPU was, or not his CPU, but his PC was glitching just at the misopportune moments where on corners it was kind of stopping, glitching on him, where he was unable to really control the car in a manner in which he would have been able to if everything was running smoothly. And things are running smoothly here, knock on wood, thanks to the likes of Travis Bartlett and Carlos Guzman facilitating my ability to get a CPU and watching some incredible racing here at Road Atlanta in our Trackalicious iRacing series here on Thursdays. And these folks, again, nose to tail, barely able to fit a stack of papers between these cars. A gross exaggeration of the gap between them, but if you are driving, you would know that these gaps are absolutely and incredibly close. And let's get into, oh no, Josh Willis making a mistake. And is that a position? And that is a position from Jacob Cunningham. Jacob Cunningham's patience again paying off for another race. Josh Willis making that mistake, getting off track, and now down into P3 position. All while the Porsche in the back, sorry, the Mustang in the back of Jordan Smith looking to challenge Eric Eng for the P4 position here. Oh my goodness, now looking on the outside, a bit of overlap. Eric Eng, huge defensive move. They do manage to go through 10A side by side, but Eng coming out the victor in 10B. But it isn't quite over yet. Jordan Smith looking incredibly menacing behind the Porsche. Now going up on the inside again, but doesn't quite have the overlap into turn one. And settles in behind and will continue to pressure the likes of Eric Eng here for that P4 position with only 17 minutes left in the race. Nay, 16 minutes left in the race. This is going to be an incredible battle to the end of the race. If Eric Eng is able to hold up the likes of Jordan Smith in that Mustang, it'll be an incredible achievement up into P4. That is a position gain for Eric from the qualifying position. 4 positions gained for Jordan Smith. 6 positions gained for Adam King. 5 positions gained from the qualifying position and the start of the race for Jacob Cunningham. But none the more victor than Daniel Salmon, up 24 positions, up into P9, into the top 10. Incredible performance here as we were watching him earlier down the grid in that lovely Cookie Monster Chips Ahoy livery. Doesn't quite have the pace of Will Brunner. Will Brunner shaking left, shaking right, going side by side into 10A and into 10B. Both now challenging into 11 and 12. The final two super high-speed corners here at Road Atlanta at Braselton, Georgia. Does manage to stick it, and them two battling is giving the ones behind the opportunity coming in. Will Brunner does manage to make it stick and gets up into that P9 position. Now Daniel Salmon only 23 positions gained, which is still an incredible achievement. Gavin in the Acura behind, now looking to challenge. Great move by Will Brunner. More action behind. Glenn Pinio trying to challenge Brad Severs. Again, not really much in their best laps between these two. In their last lap, nearly identical. 20.07 for Brad Severs, 20.15 for Glenn Pinio. Unbelievable. Welcome to the stream, Ian Anderson 6. We are here in the Trackalicious GT3 Championship in iRacing, our Thursday night special. We had 33 cars starting, many battles happening. The random safety car has been deployed, but even through 46 minutes of racing, we have some incredible battles happening through the field as Daniel Salmon, having gained 23 positions, is being challenged by the Acura of Gavin Camber just behind, and Kamal Kaitazovich just behind that in the Porsche. What is super cool to see is that there's an incredible diversity in the cars that are in the grid today and challenging across the board. I mean, looking at the top positions, we have a Corvette leading behind Jacob Cunningham in the Acura, whose sensibility has played incredibly in his favor, having dropped down several positions at times, but now up 5 positions into that P2 spot, coming in from the win in the previous race. Josh Willis dropping down from P2 previously in previous laps in the start of the race into that P3 spot, but Jordan Smith did manage to get that position from Eric Eng, now up into that P4 spot, up 5 positions from his qualifying start. Ian Anderson, hope you're enjoying the stream so far. Are you an iRacer? What do you race? What do you prefer? And hope things are going well with you as we watch Cody Wassam continuing to make it back up into the grid. Mustang on Mustang action. Cody Wassam behind Adam King here at Road Atlanta. Cody Wassam having gotten himself into an incredible situation, having had P2 behind Wesley Avia, but an incredible and uncharacteristic crash between the two dropped him down into P28, now looking to get back up as much as possible and mitigate the loss of that uncharacteristic crash earlier on in the race. There you have it. Looks like Adam King has made a mistake, giving away that position to Cody Wassam, and the pressure does work in Wassam's favor as Turner Johnson in the back now trying to get advantage of the situation. Mere mistake by Adam King, unfortunately succumbing to the pressure of the other Mustang and now losing out 2 positions down into P8. That being said, he is still up 4 positions from his qualifying start, which is incredible performance for Adam King still. Many battles still happening. Pinio still looking at Brad Severs for that P18 spot of Severs. A little over 10 minutes left in the race. The battles have been absolutely incredible. Battles in the front, battles in the middle, battles in the back. This race is really giving up some incredible viewership. Oh my goodness, Pinio side by side with Brad Severs through the long straight. Brad having the inside line. What is going to happen? Does he have the advantage of the straight line speed? Looks like Pinio is looking much faster on the straight. Brad looking to get an optimal braking line. Pinio giving away, oh my goodness, a bit of a tap in 10A, and that is an advantage for Mike Pico, sneaking in through, getting 2 spots, a 2-for-1 deal for Mike Pico there, getting himself up into a certain position of which I don't know, because I don't see Pico up here in the grid. Where are you? I think that is a position that is race 4 position, but I don't think my timing charts have updated. They are all in the same lap, and that looks like to me, while my timing charts have not updated, 2 positions gained from Mike Pico up into P18, and that is a loss for Severs, a loss for Pino, and that's what happens when you're battling, folks. If you're not paying attention, that is every battle, every time you challenge a position, that is, oh my goodness, Severs sending it on the inside. Pico getting a better run on the outside. Severs looking in again, understeering into Pico. And that is a position gain. Not necessarily in the best of ways. Maybe a bit of rubbing his racing. Looks like Pico trying to give a bit of bump draft, or Pino to Pico giving a bit of bump draft so that they can go both catch up to the likes of Brad Severs. Severs getting that position back. Pino looking on the inside here. Pico on the outside. I'm not quite sure if Pico is on the same lap, as my timing chart isn't quite showing him to have gained the position, but it does not look so. I think Pico is a lap down from Pino and Severs. Josh Willis now being pressured immensely by the likes of Jordan Smith. Jordan up several positions from the start of the race, as the likes of Colin Johnson and Jacob Cunningham seem to have walked away, trying to secure those top spots. But the battle for the podium position is still on. Jordan Smith, 2/10 advantage in the last lap, nearly 3/10. Having a fastest lap in the race. Does look like he has the pace to gain the advantage, to gain the position. But we saw an incredible amount of defensive driving from Josh Willis. Nearly a full half hour of being able to keep the faster likes of Colin Johnson, Jacob Cunningham behind. Is he going to be able to keep Jordan Smith behind as well as they go through turn 7, 8 on the long straight? And Jordan Smith looking to try and gain as much of a straight line advantage behind that Porsche as possible. Josh going defensive for sure, looking to come back onto the racing line. Jordan Smith does not have the overlap just yet, but will continue to work that Porsche up front. Again, now only 7 minutes remaining, several laps left for this race. Not a lot of time for Jordan to make that move stick, but is going to be continuing to do so, continuing to try, as Eric Miller now trying to make a move on Kamal Kajtazovic. Again, every move that you make that doesn't work, that doesn't stick, gives advantage to the car behind, and that is something that Gavin Cambrai is going to be looking at in the Acura. Glenn having damage from hitting another car, isn't having the best of time in this race. Oh goodness, unfortunately it seems to be a habit for Glenn. I'm not sure if it was under the safety car, but Glenn is streaming on YouTube. I'm not quite sure under what name, but that is really unfortunate for Glenn, and I hope that things clean up for the future races and he has a better time. Jordan Smith going off. What happened? Oh no. Seeming to have quite a bit of pace advantage. Oh my goodness. Just miscalculating the throttle point on turn 5. Loses the position to Josh Willis. Loses the position, or loses out to the challenge to Josh Willis. Loses out the position to Eric Eng. And there you have Cody Wassam coming through all the way from P28 up into P5 now. Unbelievable recovery drive from Cody Wassam after the error earlier on in the race. Hello, boss lady. I hope you guys appreciate it. I hope all the viewers are appreciating. It is her birthday. and I'm still streaming. She's been gracious enough to let us have this stream today. So big shout out to the boss lady. Come on, Kajtazovic in a half spin. Gives Eric Miller the position. Gives Steven Tomazic a position. Gives Gavin Cambray a position. And that is the lap down car of Carlos Guzman, sticking around to have some fun. Indeed. Happy you are still very young and awesome birthday. Turner Johnson still under a lot of pressure. Again, not so much time, only 4 minutes left in the race, and there are battles happening in the front, battles happening in the middle, battles happening in the back, and Adam King looking to recover some positions. Both Turner Johnson and Adam King have gained several positions from the start of the race, but it isn't quite enough. It's never enough. Always more positions. Yep, I have a lot of making up to do, Dr. Porkchop. Lots and lots. Turner Johnson again under immense amounts of pressure, and actually Eric Eng now under pressure from Cody Wassam, and Jordan Smith back in the picture. But the difference is that Cody Wassam has incredible pace right now. Cody looking to make that move stick. Eric Eng going defensive, forcing Cody onto the outside. Oh my goodness. Everybody getting quite close there. Might have been an error from Eric Eng from the super flowy section, and a break of concentration or flow really does set things off in the bad way, as we saw Kevin Bolin face and as we saw Jordan Smith deal with just a second ago. Now these guys tucking in behind the Porsche, two Mustangs. The Americas threatening the German sports car up ahead. Again, and going defensive. Cody looking on the outside, trying to stick that corner. Is this going to be contact between the two? Wasp managing to stick it on the inside of 10B. And looks like Jordan trying to take advantage. Oh my goodness, there's contact, and Eng going into the wall. Oh my goodness me. That is unfortunate for Eric Eng, now losing out on many, many positions. Down from P4 all the way down 13. Oh, just the slightest of taps, unfortunately. And looks like Jacob Cunningham has caught up to Colin Johnson now. Only a half a second between these two, and we only have 1 minute left in the race. Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable. Really hunting down for that P1 spot. We do have multiple battles, but this has been brewing the whole race. Corvette versus Acura. Jacob Cunningham's patience again playing to his incredible advantage. Great strategery from Jacob Cunningham. Final lap here at Road Atlanta at the Trackalicious GT3 Championship, round 6 in Braselton, Georgia. Colin Johnson inheriting the P1 position from the shenanigans scene between Wesley Avia and Cody Wassam. Cody, having banged himself into the wall, returning to the pits, down into P28, back all the way up into P4. But that's not the focus of Colin Johnston. Colin Johnston is just looking ahead. 3 more corners to go. Jacob Cunningham trying to pressure as much as possible to try and get Colin to make a mistake. But is that going to happen? You never know. You just don't know. We've seen it happen before, and we're not quite hoping to see it again, but hoping for the best result for these two. Cunningham looking threatening on the braking, but just the 2 more corners of 11 and 12, and that seems to be a victory secured here at Road Atlanta for Colin Johnston is in P1, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a win. Jacob Cunningham coming in P2 after an incredible battle. Josh Willis in P3, an unbelievable recovery drive for Cody Wassam in P4. Jordan Smith P5, Adam King P6, Turner Johnson P7, Will Brunner in P8, Eric Miller getting himself back up into P9, still threatened by Steven Tomazic, not enough to make it. P10, Gavin Cambray P11, Eric Ang P12 having dropped down, Dakota Knapp and P13. Daniel Salmon being threatened by Kamal Kaitazovich, not having enough for 14 and 15. Randy Gross coming in 16. Brad Severs now down the back straight. Brad Severs in P17, rounding out 10B through 11 and 12 in a relatively safe spot. Finishing the race in P17, just behind these two. Not a battle for position is P18 for Jeff Dallas. Pinio struggling through the race. Hello, Aaron. How are you doing? Top 20. Could have been worse, Glenn. No, don't go to the pits. Well, I think that secures 19th, and that is 20 for Carlos Guzman. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an incredibly action-packed race. Unbelievable. Let's see if we can get the likes of Colin Johnston, Jacob Cunningham, and Josh Willis into the green room for an interview. Who do we have? We do have all 3. Well, folks, an unbelievable performance by all 3 of you. Josh, let's start with you. Podium position. I'm sure not the position you were hoping for in this race, but still not bad. How was your race?
Cody and Wesley went into each other, and so I just kept my composure and held the lead for as long as I could. Colin was putting a lot of pressure on me the whole race, and then he had the better pit stop, and from there I had to settle in. I did not feel confident after that pit stop. Tires were going.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You did put up an incredible defense at the start of the race, so really impressive. I think almost 25 minutes keeping Colin behind you, so super impressive. Congratulations on the podium positioning. Great job. Now, Jacob Cunningham, you had a master strategic race. I think what happened in the pit stops though? That I feel like you fell behind a little bit there.
Yeah, I slid through my pit box and that cost me a few seconds, but luckily the safety car came out almost immediately afterwards, so that kind of saved me a little there. Made sure I didn't lose any positions.
Okay. And yeah, so yeah, exactly that gap. I think you lost 4 seconds out to Colin, and then safety car comes out, saves you that 4 seconds. Now tell us about the end of the race. For quite some time, looked like you were falling behind, but you found some magic towards the last 5-10 laps.
Yeah, it's just why is my okay? It's working. Just couldn't get comfortable in the car all race. It felt like, and then just in those last few minutes, like when the pressure's on, I just somehow found the speed I needed and got back to the back of Colin.
Do you think if you had an extra 5 laps that there could have been potentially an opportunity there for you?
I'm not sure. My car was understeering pretty bad through 7 the entire race, and I just couldn't get the power down to keep up with him down that long back straight to potentially set up a move.
Well, I believe you won the last race, correct? I know you won recently, but I think it was the last one.
Yes.
Yeah, so coming in with a P2 after a P1, it's just incredible overall performance. Congratulations on another podium position for you. You know, you don't never fail to entertain, and you never disappoint with the performance that you put on track. So congratulations. That being said, the real winner, the number 1 of today's race, congratulations, Colin Johnson. Incredible pace, incredible performance. But let's start at the start of the race. Didn't quite go the way you planned it, did it?
Yeah, the setup I've got is a little squirrely on the start, so my focus was just kind of on making sure that I kept it out of the walls and kept it out of other people. So I wasn't too worried about it, and then just kind of settled into a rhythm.
And a rhythm you did settle in. You were behind Josh Willis for quite an extensive amount of time, but your patience paid out. Your pit strategy was what got you the position, and then the safety car coming out in just a perfect time for you to maintain that lead. I think beyond there, pretty comfortable race.
Yeah, I was a little worried about the end. I could see that Jacob was catching up, but yeah, just keep my eyes forward and just focus on my race and see what happens as it goes.
Well, that was an impressive performance, especially with the grid that was out there and the challengers and the quality of challengers that you had. Congratulations on, I believe, your first Trackalicious win here, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you.
Amazing. Any final words before we sign off?
No, I think that covers it.
All right, well, congratulations to all 3 of you podium sitters. Amazing race, amazing performance, and we're going to sign off here right now. Thank you so much for everybody that's hanging out. Zippy, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it. We have a raid set up of El Taco Man. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the race. I thought it was incredibly action-packed. I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Join us back tomorrow for some LMU action. Looks like El Taco Man is about to start a race here at Le Mans, at Circuit de la Sarthe. So thank you so much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed everything. And I'm Eric Lacassin here at Trackalicious. Wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. We'll see you next time. Bye.